political and civil rights are being weakened in so many countries around the world.
There's this anti-rights backlash that we are seeing globally. This idea that some people should speak more and others should be muted. This leads to disinformation.
That authoritarian regimes find together, suppress people.
It's not just what's happening between Moscow and Washington. It's also what is happening in Syria and Sudan, and Lebanon, and Iran, and Turkey, and Kurdistan.
Many of these authoritarian and totalitarian leaders come to power through ordinary, legitimate elections. They use their power to undermine everything from civil society to judiciary, basic human rights, which of course makes it possible for them to typically prolong the tenure of their presidency indefinitely.
Artificial intelligence, that is a looming danger, and it's actually going to increase in speed as we are talking.
The most powerful technologies of our age are being harnessed by authoritarian states to make better authoritarianism more powerful and that is harder to escape or compete with or rebel against.
Big tech companies is the biggest threat. Their lack of social responsibility to protect the young is very scary.
There's a certain sensitivity about religious sentiments and beliefs that leads to a loss of individuality, a very sad, a very uncomfortable world.
The prosecutions, the trials, physical attacks, that threat. What will happen if we lose our faith?
Our biggest obstacle is fear. We are unable to act, to plan. Fear is paralyzing us.
Communication via media is going worse. European countries, we are on a really sad way, giving up too much power to media.
We don't interpret the speaker the way that the speaker needs to be heard.
Well-developed democracies take freedom and human rights for granted. Majority of them inherited their freedom from their parents. They can easily exchange freedom for economical benefits, comfort, or security.
If we don't care about the issues around us, about people suffering, not just in our part of the world, but in other parts of the world, if we disregard the natural connection we have to human beings, all of this freedom of expression ceases to be.
It's quite a magical international gathering of different people coming together to talk about the freedom of expression within their contexts.
It was actually my first time here, and I'm quite overwhelmed by the participation, by the audience and all the people on stage. It's really something more important than it has been for a very long time.
The crowd that gathered at Wexfo this year has immense resource to share. Many brilliant people to learn from, amazing people to share our knowledge and our experience with.
To support organizations, media outlets, individuals, economically, politically, through institution building, that's really important for me.
We need such powerful international platform which promote this freedom, where people from different parts of the world can exchange their lessons learned how to defend freedom of expression.
And this conference is about standing up for the democratic values. That we have different views is important for democracy. It's also about respect of different views. It's about what kind of democratic culture we have in the different countries.
We all are coming closer. We can exchange our knowledge, tell our stories, to step in the shoes of the others for a while.
Creates the great morality, knowing that a lot of people fighting to these regimes in their own country, we are not the only ones.
How do we ensure that everyone is equally represented, protecting the fundamental human principle and human rights principle that rights are for everyone?
It's very important for us to come together, to think together, and to see how we can push back and make sure that these freedoms are protected where they exist already and expanded or established where they don't.
The World Expression Forum is especially important today. Freedom of expression is basically the fundamental right that actually underpins democracy and all the other human rights. So fighting for it has never been more important.
There's something special that you can create when you tie a sense of place and history towards the ideals that this forum is built to strive for. And I found that immensely powerful, and I also found it created a different type of conversation, a different type of interaction with other participants. So I'm very grateful for the work.
A number of people coming together from all over the world to discuss one of the rights that I think of as the most fundamental human right, namely freedom of expression. Well, it's important because otherwise we can't communicate. So the freedom of expression is not just my right to talk to you, it's also my right to listen to you. And sometimes I think we can do more of the latter.
Knowing that you're not the best person in the room, to knowing that you're never always right, to knowing that there are other answers out there that you don't have. And all of these values, hopefully, will bring us to a place where each of us not only have the freedom to express ourselves, but use that freedom wisely.